Hi, welcome to Dragon Eagle TV Special Edition. My name is Lisa Gray. I am at Lansing. We're having a conference, annual conference, Respond to Hate, hosted by Department for Civil Rights in Michigan. So with me here is one of our partners, Carolyn. Normandin,
yes.
And from ADL. Carolyn, good to see you here again.
Very good to see you too.
Yeah. I know you have been very active throughout this whole process. And first of all, I'd like you to introduce yourself and your organization.
Sure. My name is Carolyn Normandin, and I'm the Regional Director of the Anti-Defamation League, or ADL. We are an anti-hate organization, a civil rights-minded organization. We've been around for more than 110 years. We have always had a singular mission, and that was to fight the defamation of the Jewish people and secure equal justice and fair treatment to all. And in that mission, it embodies the fact that we believe that Jewish people won't be safe until everyone is safe, and no one will be safe until Jewish people are safe. So we do our work in three basic areas. We advocate, we investigate, and we educate. And those areas talk about exactly what we do. We advocate on behalf of stronger hate crimes legislation. We make sure that we advocate in small communities, in large communities. We do it federally, we do it locally. So that's the advocacy. The investigation, anyone can contact the ADL if they believe that an incident has happened to them, an incident of hatred or bigotry. And a lot of what we capture are incidents that don't necessarily hit the bar for a hate crime. I mean, if somebody commits a crime against you, number one, always go to local law enforcement. Always start with police first. And if they say, well, this is, you know, something that might not hit the ranking of a hate crime, or not, even if you want another person to listen to, you can bring it to ADL. We track incidents. We track vandalism, assault, and harassment. And so a lot of times, sort of this garden level variety hatred or bigotry happens in schools or in communities or in locker rooms. And so that's our area of expertise. And when an incident comes into our office, we review it. We try and ameliorate the situation by positive steps. And that leads to our third area of our bucket, and that's education. And last year, we worked with more than 1.5 million students nationally. Here in Michigan, we worked with 39,000 students in 2022. We worked with more than 2,000 teachers last year. We believe that education is really at the core of preventing targeted violence. This is a very serious time. We're looking at record levels of anti-Semitism and other forms of bigotry. I'll end by saying it's very worrisome to me that in 2022 and 2023, where we're in now, we have seen record numbers of incidents of hatred and bigotry against all groups, all marginalized groups. And about 60% of what's reported to us is from the Jewish community or anti-Semitism. The other 40% falls into the other categories such as anti-Asian hatred, racism, xenophobia, or bigotry against the LGBTQ community.
I think what is this event we're at this for? And events like this, what does events like this mean to our community?
Lisa, I'm so glad you asked that question. So my response to hate, or the Michigan Response to Hate conference, is an annual conference. And people who care about racial justice, social justice, are all gathered here to talk about ways of preventing bigotry and hatred. We're talking about ways to collaborate. It's very, very important that we work together. This is not something we can do alone. It can't be the Jewish community working on behalf of the Jewish community or the Asian community working on behalf of the Asian community. We have to be partners in this. This is a very large tent. People who hate people are looking at all the marginalized communities, and so it's really crucial for people to gather together And that's what this conference does. It brings like-minded people together to figure out ways that we can educate each other, that we can collaborate with one another, and that we can understand that we're not alone.
Your organization has done such a wonderful job. So how AAPI community can learn from your organization?
I'm really glad you asked that. So
Thank you.
it's really true. One thing we know, and we've been in this business for more than 110 years, we've been collecting data for more than 40 years. And what the data shows us is that there has been a rise of all types of bigotry over the last several years. One of the things we saw in tremendous rise during the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw attacks against the Asian community all over the country, all over the world. One thing most people don't realize is fear makes people look for someone to blame. And when you're looking for someone to blame, you look for the nearest scapegoat. And the nearest scapegoat is somebody that's not like you. So we saw this giant rise in hatred against the AAPI community. And so ADL, which we've been at this for a long time, we started reaching out to the AAPI partners, and we formed a coalition. We have partnerships with the Asian community, with the Latin community, with the gay community, with the Black community, because we know that there's safety in numbers. And so if anybody feels as if an incident has of hatred or bigotry of any kind has been perpetrated against them, number one, report it. Don't keep it inside. I know a lot of times people that are attacked for one of their characteristics, like being Asian or being Jewish or being Black, they don't want to relive it. You know, it's a tough thing. But you really do need to tell somebody, because data drives decisions. And when we have data about these problems, we can then go to elected officials and say, this is what's happening, and this is how we want to correct it. So I think it's really important that people first report incidents of hatred. The other thing that they can do is seek out like-minded community organizations. These are usually the organizations like the Association of Chinese Americans, or the Pacific Islander community, or the ADL for the Jewish community, or NAACP or Urban League for the Black community, or PFLAG for the gay community. There are usually organizations that have leaders that can help you. There's one thing I know: we cannot stand alone in this boat. We need to be working together, and we need to always look out for one another. So I would say those are the two. Number one, report. Number two, find like-minded people. And then the third thing, do not stand for elected leaders or community celebrities or any other. Don't stand for your friends or your friends' boyfriends or girlfriends to promulgate hatred. When it happens, even if it's an offhanded comment, stop it in its tracks. It's really important that we all stand up to hatred and bigotry. And the other side of that is be an ally. So if I'm standing next to you and somebody makes a comment to me about the Asian community, I would stand up for you. If you're standing next to me and somebody makes a derogatory comment about the Jewish community, I want you to stand up for me. We must be allies in this. Remember, we're all in the same boat.
Thank you so much for doing all that good work, and including AAPI community. One thing I want to say that the reason I formed this APIA News Network, Dragon Eagle TV, or API Voice, the mission is just to strive to advocate for the community, advance the diversity, inclusion, and equality, and sense of belonging. And so we're in the same line. Yeah. So I'm so happy, so glad to be part of this wave, and also be honored to be working with you, working alongside with you.
I feel the same way, Lisa.
Thank you so much, and we'll continue work together and build a strong partnership.
I promise I will.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you next time.